Hi there, Toby here. Welcome to the Life-Fullness Life Coaching Program video. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through a few of the fundamental stages of the life coaching program that I offer. So Life-Fullness Life Coaching has two main parts. Both are related to living a life where you are feeling more fully connected to your potential and realizing more of that potential in actuality in your life. So the first of the dimensions of Life-Fullness Life Coaching is quite simple. It's how can you be more effective in realizing your linear goals along a linear timeline. So what are the things that I want to manifest in my life? How can I build a life that looks something like what I would most enjoy it looking like? And so what targets do I need to set up? And how can I create an action-based strategy around which I can bring more and more of what I want in my life into my life in reality? So that's the first aspect of the program. We're looking at tangible goals over a tangible timeline. So the second dimension of the Life-Fullness Life Coaching Program is the dimension of the meaning of life being not something that you can fully experience simply by setting linear goals, but that you can only really experience by connecting to the feeling of being alive more deeply in the moment. So this dimension of Life-Fullness program is not about how can I set up targets and fulfill them along a linear timeline. It's about how can I connect more deeply in this moment to the fundamental feeling of being alive and to enjoy this moment more deeply, more presently, more viscerally, thereby experiencing more lifefulness, more of the potential of this moment to give me pleasure, enjoyment and fulfillment, all right? So these two dimensions of the Life-Fullness Life Coaching Program. So it's my job as the life coach to help you realize your potential for life fullness in these two ways. So with lifefulness, we talk about reconnecting to what I call the 3 R's. The first of these is regeneration. So here what I'm talking about is the regeneration of our connection to our creative self and our curiosity. So when we talk about our creative self, what we're talking about is that fundamental sense of me being the driving creative force in my life and being curious about or interested enough in my life to really own that creative or generative space and say, this is my life. I'm going to fully reawaken to my potential to make the life that I want. So reawaken to curiosity and creativity. So the second R is reconnection. So this means really reconnection to deeper levels and patterns of meaning making in our life. It means looking deeply at the why question. Why am I doing this? Why is it that I think I want this? Why is it that I feel this way? What are the kind of deeper levels of intentionality and meaning that I can bring to this moment, to today, to my life? So the why question isn't an easy question, and for a lot of people, it's something you say, well, why am I doing this? Why have I got married? Why have I started on this career? Why am I doing this particular vocation or this pastime? And well, I don't know. I just kind of fell into it. Or, I always liked it, so I continued it. So we don't really stay with the why question for long periods of time. And it's not really clear about, well, what is the value of doing that? So with this kind of reconnection, we're talking about reconnecting to deeper levels of why am I doing this? And being clear about that and living our life from this deeper level of intentionality, which brings power to our life. So the third R is reawakening. So reawakening to confidence, energy and personal power. So what are the different ways in which I can build sustainable confidence over a long period of time? So not confidence that goes up and then down again and is unreliable, but sustainable confidence. Same thing with energy. How can I build sustainable, consistent levels of energy over a long period of time? So within the mindfulness programs that I teach in the corporate world, I talk a lot about high performance. And one of the fundamentals of the things I always say is sustainable high performance depends upon recovery. So with this life coaching program, we're talking about, well, how can I connect to sustainably high levels of energy that I can rely upon not just in the short term, but in the medium and long term, so that I can be confident that I'm not going to burn out, that I'm going to have a resource of energy in my life. All right, so, and personal power, so confidence and energy, very related to personal power. How can I bring powerful energy to my presence, to my life, to today? How can I live my life powerfully? Not something that's separate from compassionately, lovingly, caringly, gently, but also with power, with genuine underlying strength. So another dimension of the approach that Life-Fullness brings is you're trying to embed all of these things, the reconnection, reawakening, regeneration, to 4 different levels of your being. So first of all, mental, so identifying on a cognitive level, the different qualities that you're trying to cultivate, the different goals that you have, different methods and different ways of framing things, different beliefs. So we're developing ourselves on the cognitive level. We're trying to develop ourselves on the emotional level. So this means that if we have an idea that we're trying to embed in our life cognitively, we know what that looks and feels like on the emotional level as well. So there's not a separation between what we think and what we feel. So not just trying to bring together thinking and feeling, but also trying to bring together thinking, feeling, and our body sense. So the energy that our body embodies. So we're not just thinking something and feeling something, our body energy is also consistent with that particular pattern of thinking and feeling. So to give a simple example, if you think about confidence, so you want a mental or cognitive understanding of what confidence is, how you can build it. You want to link those intellectual ideas to specific states of emotion that are complementary to those intellectual ideas. So you have your emotional states and your mental states aligning with each other. So not just that, you also want to be able to feel somatically in an embodied way in your body what confidence feels like. So you're not just feeling it and thinking it, you are walking around with the felt sense of it in your body. So really grounding into the cellular structure, the physics and chemistry and biology of your body. So it's not just psychological in your head, it's not just something emotional in your heart, it's something that your whole body is partaking of. So we're trying to unify the body, the emotions, and the mind. And then we're trying to express that quality. So again, think about the confidence in our behavior and in the way we relate to other people in our world. So we're looking for patterns of behavior and ways of relating to people that are then consistent with that confidence approach. All right? So the type of coaching I give is always working around these kind of 4 levels. So you identify it cognitively, you cultivate the emotional states around it, you learn to ground it and anchor it in the body, and then you learn to express it clearly through behaviors and ways in which you relate to people. So this gives you a really kind of complete, embodied way of developing yourself over time, such that you can build that connection to feeling full alive, that sense of life-fullness in a really complete way that is sustainable and that stands the test of time, that is long-term. Okay, so those are 4 dimensions that I thought are worth mentioning or just drawing out. So another final way that I want to point out that is kind of unique to the Life-Fullness Life Coaching Program, and that I found really works in the medium and long term, not just the short term, is this kind of idea of use of complementary polarities. So I have this kind of expression that any virtue practiced to an extreme becomes a vice, right? So you see this in all of my different teachings, my different trainings, and you see it in this program as well. So for example, if we talk about a sense of personal power or confidence, or strength practiced to an extreme can become cruelty or bullying, right? On the opposite pole, caring or love practiced to an extreme can becoming a bit of a doormat, becoming weak, becoming indulgent of others. So either of those extremes are unhealthy, right? So with mindfulness, if we're developing the quality of strength, of confidence, of power, we will then look to link it to an opposite polarity. So often that will be something like love or caring or gentleness. And we'll be learning to hold these two in tension with each other so that they are and in balance with each other, so that you learn confidence that is loving, power that is gentle. We're learning, to be willful in a way that is connected to caring and gentleness and love and compassion. So we're kind of building polarities in the way in which we grow. And those polarities hold each other in balance. So another simple example is how to build the capacity for positive and optimistic thinking and hold that in balance, in a complementary balance, with, well, how do I look after that part of me that is anxious, the part of me that often is thinking fearfully, that is thinking pessimistically or critically. So how do I hold these two in balance together in a way that they're bringing out the best of each other? So I'm looking after the parts of me that are anxious and fearful and helping them to heal, to grow, to become useful, and at the same time develop my capacity for optimism and positive thinking. So that's another simple example. And again, this, for every person, there's specific ways in which you need to learn particular types of positive thinking and particular types of optimism, and how to balance that with the particular types of anxiety or fear or pessimism that you may have. Okay, so one final example I'll give you is the capacity to rest at ease and to relax, and how to combine that in a complementary way with how to be motivated and excited, right? So, with mindfulness, often people think about calm, relaxing, ease, and these are all good things, of course, but you don't want just those things. You want the capacity to move along a spectrum where you know how to move towards calmness, relaxation, ease, and then where appropriate and necessary, you can move along to the other side, the other polarity, where you're getting motivated, you're getting excited, you're building high energy. So, and these two, again, they are in complementary polarity with each other, so that you're able to bring whatever is necessary to the moment along that spectrum, from high energy, high motivation, to calm, ease, relaxation, non-doing. All of these are available to you along that spectrum, and you can just choose where you're going to place yourself along that spectrum in this particular situation, in this moment, and you have the confidence to do that. All right? Okay, so I think we're almost there. One of the things that I'm really known for as an ex-Buddhist monk and with 25 years of meditation training is the kind of unique kind of mindfulness dimension that I bring to my coaching practice. So mindfulness here, one way in which I define it is mindfulness functions to increase our potential for experiential learning in the moment. So mindfulness is basically attention training, and what it helps you to do is, how can I ground myself in this moment and learn from what's happening to me right here, right now? So one of the unique things about my coaching program and the Life-Fullness Coaching Program is, for everything that we talk about in the session, We will generally ground it into a specific practice. Often I'll record it with you in session so you can take it away with you, that you can then go away and practice. And it's looking for a specific practice where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, where the idea of what we've been talking about and the experience of it in real time in your life connect. All right? So when we're talking about the mindfulness dimension of this coaching program, what that's referring to is specific practices that are trying to link the ideas that we've been talking about to your reality, to your experience. Right? So bringing an intellectual understanding into an experiential understanding that holds under pressure in real time. So this is really important, because if you don't have that connection, then even if you've got a very perceptive coach, and even if you're very perceptive and wise yourself, if you can't bridge that gap between the idea of what you're trying to do and the thing itself, then it's difficult to make progress and sustainable progress over time, embodied progress over time. So here, the mindfulness practices that I give you are very specific, very tailored to your particular life, your particular needs, your particular circumstances, and how you can make that leap between what you understand you need to do intellectually and what you actually do and experience in a real time, on a real time level. Okay, so those are a few dimensions of the coaching program. I hope it's been helpful for you. So you can read about the rest of the write-up on the web page below. Do have a look at that. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you enjoyed it, if it was meaningful for you, then please do get in touch and we can talk about something that might work for you. Okay, so thanks, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.